Hey, it's been a while. Longer than I would have thought it was, but we have 10 of us. All of us are either in school, or employed, or both. So it's kind of hard to set up dates and like times for stuff, or like setting up the draft, because we wanna do it live and not like asynchronously. And we try to have like everyone over, but we're back, and I'm really excited to be back. Honestly, it was a nice break to have, but we're doing Gen 7. That's all you really need to know. Gen 7, no Z moves, and that's really it rules wise. This is a doc we did Gen 7 before with Z moves, and we had a lot of fun with that one. So we decided to run it back. We took out the Z moves though, because we decided that those were cringe. So we already had the doc for this one, like 99% made. So that made things easier. But let's get into the teams. Oh yeah, how order was? We just spun a wheel live to decide who the order was, and then every time you were up, you had 2 minutes to make a pick. So, and then we had a couple days to do some grace period transactions, and that's over. So these are the teams for now. All transactions people make are count towards the 5 total. And yeah, let's start. Okay, so Ryan, captain the Boo Boo Klefkes, went first. And the first thing I gotta say, this is the most try-hard core I've ever seen in my life. Incineroar or Mungus Gyarados, like, have some shame. Have some shame. Oh, I'm gonna do the Fire, Water, Grass, and I'm gonna have Incineroar that likes switching in and out. I'm gonna have Mungus like switching in and out, and I have Gyarados like switching in and out and Thunder Wave and things. Like, have some shame. Have some shame. So this is a very good defensive core. These mons are gonna be very tough to take out. There is if I had one concern with this team, it's that I don't see many ways to actually do a lot of damage. Like Lanoon can be like belly drum like speed. Okay, where was I? Sorry, I had to do something real quick. Yeah, so what I was saying, I'm worried about this team's damage output. Like Incineroar can do damage, but it's not known for it. Same thing with Gyarados usually. Like Lucario can, like, his expensive mons don't do damage. Like Hoopa can do a lot of damage, but Hoopa is it can be a defensive liability. Psychic Ghost is just like such a bad typing, especially defensive. It's also a kind of terrible type, like not a great typing offensively either. So like with Hoopa, you're very weak to Sucker Punch, and like some like fighting types and stuff get like Sucker Punch, and you just like die to it, and like you think you have the type matchup because you have a fighting type, but like someone tucks in a Sucker Punch, you like cry. With the Klefki can set up screens to try to keep stuff alive. Yeah, this is gonna be a very, very hard defensive core to break. But if he is too passive, he can definitely get set up on something like Swords Dance or Quiver Dance or anything like that. So that's my concern with this team. But this team's gonna be a nightmare to play against. Like, this team's gonna be so annoying. All right, we have Tyler, the captain of the Aura Maxers. Oh yeah, a funny little rule is that if we took the Mega Evolution, the normal mon was still available. So we have Lucario and the Boo Boo Klefkes, and then Tyler with the Aura Max with Mega Lucario. You're gonna see that a couple of times. Mega Lucario is always a funny mon because, well, Tyler and Fallon fight over this mon a lot. Last Gen 7 draft, Fallon was before Tyler, so she got it first, but Tyler was before Fallon, so Tyler was able to scoop it up before she did, and then, you know, we cry and stuff. But yeah, the Mega being... I didn't talk about Mega Ataria much, because I don't know much about it. Alright. Yeah, so Mega Lucario, it's a very... Dude, this mon kills things. Like if you're like slower, even if you aren't slower, like Bullet Punch can OHKO things, like if you're weak to it. That's how strong this mon is. And Mega Lucario's got a lot of priority moves. It's got good coverage too, but adaptability is why this mon is so good. So you can't. It's a very dangerous mon. Not gonna Dell. Any mon with beast boost is always scary. You know, especially it's like a fast. It hits hard. That's always a problem. Let's see. Thunderous is always annoying. Crawdon's scary. Let's see. And then let's see. I'm seeing a decent amount of mons that are like weak. He's got some what's it called? Immunities to ground, but he's also got a decent amount of mons that are weak to ground. Cario, not gonna Dell, Entei. Like these are mons. He's gotta be careful with that. So it's gotta be a very difficult. You gotta be able to position properly with this team, especially mons like Crawdon. Crawdon will like almost can one shot things, even non-resist. I mean, even non-weak mons. But it's kind of slow, so that's the problem with it. So you gotta position that correctly. Meteor is a shell smash mon. You gotta position that correctly, but that can become a problem. So yeah, you gotta be able to pivot correctly with this team. There's not much. Another thing that worries me is that there's not too much support. Like all these mons just kind of do their own thing, and they don't really help each other out. But hyper offense is definitely something that can like run people over. Like you don't always need support, but I do think you always need good ways to do damage. So like it's not a terrible problem to have. All right, the Go-Go Breed, Captain the Go-Go Flower Rangers. Oh yeah, Tower doesn't also have an ace, but we've seen that work before. In my Gen 7 draft, I didn't have an ace because I was a Sun team, and I was using Torkoal, and I didn't get Mega Charizard. Why? His ace is Tapu Koko. Like, just looking at these first two mons, Tapu Koko and Mega Blazikens, these are mons that hit fast and hard. These mons are very overwhelming. Like, jeez, Tapu Koko with electric terrain, and you just like give it a choice back. That's nightmare. Like a Blaziken. Was it 145 attack? And just like, it's got so many good moves. It's got Sword Stance, it can knock off close combat, it can Flare Blitz. Like, these are just ridiculous moves to have. You even be special. Star Raptor's another mon, like pretty quick mon that can set up a Tailwind. Suicune also gets Tailwind, which is pretty funny. And his team is very, very fast. So this is a team that can very much run over people. He's got to be worried about Trick Room. That is the thing I'd be worried about most if I was the Go Flower Rangers. You don't like Aegislash is good coverage to have. This is a good mon to have to like try to counteract the quick Trick Room. Aegislash is pretty slow, but like besides that, it's like really nothing. The 1 and 2 before the Grace period was over. Instead of having Mudbray, he had Marini and Igglybuff, which was the funniest thing ever. I'm like, yeah, we really are into the ice soup territory. And sorry if the dock like this looks weird with the Hoopa. I don't know how to fix that, and I don't care enough to learn how to fix that. It's not a big enough problem for me to care about. So things don't look perfect. You complain about it. I don't care. All right, Jake with the intimidation tactics. Mega Mawile is always an interesting Mega Evolution. It's a very dynamic one where you definitely have to use it before you Mega Evolve as well because you have Intimidate. So you can like pivot with normal Mawile if you want, and then it gets huge power. So like this mon is a demon is the conclusion I'm drawing here. He's got Arcanine for more Intimidate. This is a pretty well-balanced team, I'd say. Zapdos is a good Zapdos is another flexible mon where you can be defensive or offensive with it. Mamoswine is my boy. I wish I had it. But Mamoswine is a very hard tough mon to switch into. Greninja, Vaporeon that can like, and he's also good. I like how this team is built a lot. Clefairy for support. Arcanine can do damage on its own as well, plus being Intimidate. Rotom's also another flexible. This team it's got some like Mega Wall is kind of one-dimensional, but like in Clefairy only really does one thing, which is just spam follow me. But a lot of these other mons could be offensive or defensive, and they're very tricky, and they threaten a lot of things, which I really like about this team. Obvious, Ditto's always crazy to go against. He's got like 7. The thing is like, yeah, he's got 7 quality mons, but the last 3 just have like a severe drop off. I mean, Ditto ain't bad, but like Cottonine Wing. I mean, a lot of people have just like a couple like on it's like 2 points or whatever. So it definitely makes your team more predictable. But I really like this team. I think that this is one of the teams I fear the most. I think it's pretty well balanced. It's got good speed to it. This team's also kind of weak to Trick Room. But Mega Wow has both Bad Wow and Mouse Spine have priority, so there's ways to get around it. Valen, captain of the Spiritomb Raiders. So she didn't have Mega Lucario, and Lucario wasn't on the field either because, I mean, Lucario was picked out until later, but her preferred Mega was gone, so she went with Mega Lopunny, which is like pretty close to Mega Lucario. It's a fighting type that hits really hard. It's got Scrappy, really nice ability. I don't remember if it makes you immune to Ghost types yet. I'm immune to Intimidate yet, but you can hit Ghost types, which is very nice. That's a very nice ability to have with your normal and fighting type moves. We got the first 2 picks are both water types, which I find funny. So Ocanian is there's a lot of sets you can do with this mon. Specs hits super hard. Soul Fast makes it really tanky. Primarina is also another mon with specs. Let's see, we got so many we got multiple hyper voice mons. Like these first 3 picks are very funny because like the overlap of these being both water types and overlap with these being hyper voice spammers is pretty funny to me. Well, anyways, that's not the point here. So what do I have to say about this team? It's got a lot of good defensive pieces. Like Skarmory is very hard to kill. Umbreon's very hard to kill. Spiritomb and Golurk. Spiritomb only has 1 weakness, so that makes it hard. I don't know. I don't really have any complaints about. Like, this team doesn't scare me, but I don't have any complaints about it. I mean, that's just like my personal feeling towards a bunch of these mons. I haven't seen them in action yet. Double Ghost. Not many. Let's see. I mean, Umbreon's not really like a support mon. It's kind of annoying to kill. Spiritomb is good support. Golurk could be good support as well. I don't know. I feel like I should have more to say, but I don't. I'll go back. Maybe I'll go back if anything pops in my head. James with the captain of Soctua, maybe the worst name in human history. But you know what? It is what it is. Mega Metagross. Mega Metagross is a demon. It's so good. You're like, okay, Tough Claws is an insane ability to give this for a Mega. That's absolutely ridiculous. It becomes from kind of slow to really fast to, I think it's 110 speed. Like, that speeds a lot of the format. Let's see. Gastrodon. Gastrodon is such an annoying mon. Genesect, it has so many, like, just, you know, you could change, like, what one of its moves are. You can have, like, hit really hard with any type of move you want. That's always, like, a scary thing to go against, especially with those team sheets. Mimikyu is annoying because you got, like, these are, like, annoying to deal with mons. Like, a lot of these mons have a lot of resistances, not many weaknesses, or some type of, like, defense towards them that makes them difficult to remove. Like, Dragonite's got Bullet Descale, Mimikyu has the substitute part, Gastrodon only has 1 weakness and gets Storm Trade. Mega Metagross has a ton of resistances, Genesect only has 1 weakness. Like, a lot of these mons have offensive power, but are more annoying to take out than you would think for offensive mons, which is a very good, nice thing to have. Although Raichu gets fake out support, which is, I mean, sort of normal. Raichu gets fake out support, which can buy you some turns, which is nice. I like Raichu support here, and also just none of his mons are like stupid fast besides Raichu, so having this as one super speed demon is always nice to have. Just this is especially one of those teams where like the quality of the mons definitely drop off near the end, where it's like the last 5 are like, I don't know if they're ever gonna be brought how often, but you know, if your team, you gotta bring your team captain at least once, I would think, but who knows. Jack, captain the manly Manetrix. Mega Manetric, oh my god, this is one of the most slippery mons in human existence. It's super fast, has Intimidate, just full switch in and out. Also has a normal ability, has Lightning Rod, so that gives it some utility outside of Mega Evoluting too. Celesteela, super, that mon can just like, if you don't have ways to hit that mon, like it just like solos everything, it just leash seeds everything and just like never dies. So that's definitely a threat to take care. I'm getting annoyed of. Landorus Incarnate, dude, truthfully, I hate this mon. I don't like how it looks. I think it's cheap. It takes no skill in my opinion. You life orb and you press Earth Power and do nothing else with your life. Ooh, oh, look how daring today I am. But this mon hits like a truck. This mon is so scary. Scrafty. Scrafty is a kind of like a classic for Jack with the manly Manetrix. I feel like Scrafty is like a budget Incineroar. It's got Intimidate, it's got Fake Out, it's got the dark typing to it. Very much budget Incineroar-esque, but it has some other stuff. It's got like Moxie and like that ability to like cure status on its own. Very, very interesting ability. He's also got a little brain package with a Politoed Seismitoad, which is really interesting to do. There is still some weather. I'll show you a bit. Like Joe's got Tyranitar Drill daring today, aren't we? But yeah, so that's like a good like counter thing to have. Politoed's also just kind of not bad mon on its own. You know, it also makes Thunder's 100% accurate. That's nice. Yeah, Cresselia's never dies. Let's see. Let's see. This team's actually very well. I was gonna say like this team like can get outsped, but Mega Manetric's very good at stopping that from happening. And that's not even true because Lando I is pretty fast too. So you know he's got to make use out of the hard hitters. You know, with Mega Manetric and Landorus I, because not too many of his other mons can do a whole lot of damage. So that's something he's got to be wary of, or else he's just gonna run out of ways to win the game. Yeah, you know, he's got Jigglypuff and Trapinch for a 2-point Parashot combo. It's never gonna get brought, but that's a funny thing to note. Yeah, like around 85% that like four every 5 matches, he's just gonna bring these top 6, which these are good bonds. Just you gotta be careful because then you become predictable and you could like counter team more effectively if you're only really thinking about 6 mons. Alright. Hey, look, it's me. I decided to be the loving Landorus' just generation. If there's Volcarona in the draft and I'm allowed to pick it, I pick Volcarona. It's my favorite mon. I'll use any excuse to pick it. Volcarona. It's a very flexible mon in doubles. Outside, not unlike singles where it just like only does quiver dance. It's actually very kind of flexible in singles too. Like it's still quiver dances, but like what its 4th move is and stuff like that. And it's like IV spreads. Yeah, this Volcarona gonna be a sweeper or support mon. Landorus Therian, you know, it's one of the goats. This was the goat before Incineroar existed. One of the goats in singles too. 445 attack, only 2 weaknesses. Immune to ground, Intimidate. In Gen 7 has stupid coverage. Like I'm pretty sure it has Dock Off in Gen 7, which is just stupid. It's got Explosion. Like it's fun silly. My Mega of choice was Mega Latios. I didn't really have a Mega idea, to be honest. At one point, I was thinking about Metagross for a little bit. I was thinking about Manectric for a little bit. I was really sure what to do for my Ace or my Mega. But Mega Latios hits 160 special attack with a Draco Meteor will KO a lot of things. 110 speed, set up Tailwind. This wasn't really even done that much on purpose, just kind of like the pad of the clock, and I'm running the draft, so like I have to put in all the picks, so like I have less time than everyone else essentially. But I have so many mons that are immune to ground. Obviously Landorus, Mega Latios, Uxie, Ronimo. Like that makes it so that outside of that, I could spam Earthquake. And I don't have to worry about me hitting myself, which is a very nice thing to have. I picked up I remember picking up Polion just to make sure. I used to have Lapras, but I picked up a Toxicroak instead. Just to have another way to hit fairies. I get Fake Out support. Also has the ability that makes you immune to water and heals from water, and like you heal when rain is up. It's a very interesting ability, but you take more damage for fire type moves, so that's very volatile. Let's see, Ronimo, I made sure to just have a way to threaten grass types, not grass types, water types. Let's see, and then Charge a Bug. It's got battery, so that's a neat ability. It can. So my team, none of my mons are too fast, so I'm gonna have to rely on either my item choice or some type of support to make my team faster than other things. Some mons here get Icy Wind. There could be times where maybe I want to Trick Room, but like my mons aren't slow. A lot of my mons aren't slow either. Volcarona is pretty kind of fast. Lunasterian is fine speed. Lego Latios is pretty fast, but like they're gonna get outsped by the fastest thing in the format. Kieran Black is like okay speed. So it's gonna be an interesting game to balance what I want to do speed wise. It's definitely gonna be matchup dependent, but I don't know how I feel about my team. I also had Uxie, but Jet 7 drop. I like it a lot for the points. It's not as bulky as Cresselia. It does have all the same moves as Cresselia, but same typing, same ability, still really bulky, and has most of the moves I need. So I like it for the points. All right, the Apom brothers, Franklin. He picked Mega Tyranitar just to spite Joe, who was going after him, because Joe's like, am I just gonna do sad stuff again? And foreshadowing, the answer was yes. Let's see. We got Sableye. Sableye has Prixer, so it gets spread burn and screens. That mon's annoying. Togedemaru. He's got some mons that are like, it's like you see the first two mons like, oh, you see he's weak to ground, but then he has like a bunch of grass types to and flying types to like make up for it. So like defensively, what I'm kind of worried about for him is that, oh no, he's got Feeny and Articuno. So like I was gonna say like dragon types are kind of hard for him to hit, but no, he can manage. What is it? What do I have to say about this? Ways to do damage in general are kind of limited. I don't know, Tangrowths like on their own, like Mega Tyranitar obviously can do damage. Like Togedemaru is not really a damage dealer. Sableye is not a damage dealer. Tangrowth can be. Shiinotic's really not. Blastoise is not. It's okay. Tapu Fini can. That's more of just how you build it. On its own, it doesn't. But if you give it a Specs or something, then it can do some good damage. So yeah, you gotta be worried about your team's damage output. You also gotta be worried about the speed stat. The speed stat of this team it's just not fast enough. And I don't know if any of these mons get Trick Room. I don't know. I'm gonna say they don't. I don't think any of these do. But I could be wrong. So I gotta be worried about just getting kind of just like hyper offense out of the game. And just like never being able to act. He also has 2 Apoms. Meaning technically he doesn't have the points for it. And you're just not supposed to. But he's the Apom brother, so he gets a second Apom for free. Okay, that's just... I found it funny, so he gets it. Alright. And then finally, Joe, who went last, to take 2 Tyranitars. Franklin took Mega Tyranitar for him. And just said, fine, I'll take normal Tyranitar. So we've got Tyranitar X Drill Daring today, aren't we? No, it's like, this has been a combo forever. It's been good forever. you know, when you do a combo like this, you always have to be worried. Turn into an extra Joe, you gotta be worried about ground types. He's got some things that are okay against ground types. Like Flygon has Levitate, so that's nice. Fortress is neutral. Celebi is immune to a resist ground, so he has that. He also has multiple sand setters, so it's gonna in a weather war where if he wants sand, he will get sand. I don't know. Stoutland. I don't know if this has an ability. I know it gets Intimidate, but does it get something else that does this get like a sand type ability? I don't remember. You know what? I'm gonna. Oh shoot. Okay, that didn't work. I'm gonna look this up actually. What is this? I know it gets. It does get Sand Rush. I'm not crazy. So Stoutland could be. Stoutland's like a good mon, like surprisingly. Like it's got good stats. Like this one surprises me on how good it is. Like its bulk is 85, 90, 90. That's pretty good. 110 attack, that's respectable. 80 speed, that's not bad. It's got Intimidate, Sand Rush, and Scrappy. These are all nice abilities to have. Like Stoutland is like a surprise. Like it actually baffles me how good this mon is. Oh yeah, so he's got sand. Something to note about Garchomp is that it's not allowed to run the ability that makes you Sand Veil. I think that's the one that it makes you immune. Has increased immunity. That's banned. So he's got a lot of mons that are at least immune to sandstorm damage, and he's got multiple ways to set up sand. So he's got to be a bit worried about ground types. Especially like ground types I could like Joe gets 6-0'd by Mamoswine. Like if like Mamoswine's in a spot where like it cannot get threatened by something, like it could kill his entire team. That like I'm looking at Jake, I'm just like, okay. Earthquake to Tyranitar, Earthquake to Excadrill, Icicle Crash the Garchomp, Icicle Crash the Celebi, Icicle Crash the Komodo, Icicle Crash the Hippowdon. Like he's got it. Like so like. If the mons aren't weak to ground, they're weak to ice for the most part. So that's gonna be something he's gonna be worried about. And that's every team. Oh my god, I forgot how hard it is to talk for this long. Like I'm starting to stumble over my words because I'm literally just tired from talking, which is kind of crazy. Well, yeah. Who do I think has the best team? Let's go with that. I really like Jake's. I think Jake's has the scariest team. I think it has a good it's got a good combination of offense and defense. I haven't really type chart wise, I think it does pretty well. I mean like it's got 3 mons weak to grass, but like Mamoswine doesn't really count. I'm not Mamoswine, Greninja doesn't really count because it's got Protean. But it's got Mega Mawile for resist, Zapdos for resist, Arcanine for resist, so it's honestly the thing he's probably most scared of is like, no, Mawile's Mega Mawile? That's still Fairy now, right? I was gonna say like you can't really threaten Dragon types, but no, you can. Yeah, I think he's got the best team, but that's gonna do it for me. Matches start next week. I'm excited. I play Jack week 1, so that's scary, and hopefully the surprises I have been thinking of will actually come to fruition. I want this to be good. I really do. But that's enough of me yapping. I'll see you guys soon. For real this time. Bye.